Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Namaste experience. The known. I just said a moment ago, I know, but we all know, don't we? The known is forever increasing in momentum. It's building, it's growing, and we can feel it. Something is happening inside. That's the Namaste experience. We feel and we know that something is happening within that is momentous. And it goes in the face of this catastrophic direction that society seems to be heading in. It's like there almost seems to be these two forces, and yet we know that there's only one. There's only one force. I look into the back of the room and I see the lesson from A Course in Miracles today. To give and to receive are one in truth. One in truth. So all of these illusions of two or these different forces coming together, moving together, fighting with each other, challenging each other, it's just the reminder to me, to each one of us, that there's only one. And so this morning, I want to read something that comes from the Enlightenment Partnership Program. We have a group that is well into the program, and I was sending out this lesson last night, and I found it to be an amazing definition. So simple of who you are. So I want to read, and then we'll talk about this. It begins by saying, your light has never been extinguished or even challenged. That's important. It's never been extinguished or even challenged. The light within you. What is forever whole remains as it was created forever. That's the best description of you that exists. Isn't that interesting? What is forever whole remains as it was created forever. And that's the best description of you, the truth of you that exists. That's the simplicity of salvation. If we allow ourselves to know what has always known us, to dive into that infinite ocean of grace. And yet, at the same time, we deny that. We hide from that. But that doesn't mean that it hides from us. So let me continue. Clouds may hide the sun, but the sun's light is never fully extinguished. The daily rotation of the earth makes it seem as if the sun is hidden. But you rejoice in the morning when the light returns. What are these but misinterpretations of nature? Right? So at the time when we thought that the sun would leave us and we didn't understand how the sun would rotate, it was easy to misperceive what was really happening on a physical level. Centuries ago, people were unable to understand the laws that maintain the orbit of heavenly bodies. And what are you? What is the ego? But a divine misinterpretation. Until now, the laws that maintain heaven's rotation were hidden from you. But they are hidden no longer. That's the good news. They're hidden no longer. All that's required is a single discovery. And here it is. This is the single discovery. That you are filled with the divine light that will never fade and can never be extinguished. And as we heard before, has never even been challenged. The truth within you has never been challenged. How could reality be challenged by dreams? But that's only realized when we what? Wake up and realize that it was just a dream. Realize that it never challenged the truth of who we are. Hide in a dark room and it will seem that you've escaped the light. But as soon as you step outside, you realize the light has never left you. Put a blindfold over your eyes and you may be able to convince yourself that you're blind. But as soon as you remove the blindfold, you discover that your sight was never challenged. You've placed a blindfold over your soul to hide your vision of the divine, or your ability to see only the light. Your ability to see only light, because that's the only thing that can be seen. Even in the physical world, you can't see anything without what? Light. And it's the same thing on the spiritual level. It's our light, only our light can be seen, can be known. Or we can close our eyes and pretend. We've been basically in this wonderful, very intricate game of pretend for a very long time. Let's pretend that we're separate from one another. Let's pretend that we're vulnerable. Well, the time of pretending has ended. In fact, one of the smartest things that you can do if you want to experience this is to turn that pretension around. In other words, to pretend what is true. To pretend that you're whole. To pretend that you're enlightened. Because when you pretend something that's already true, the truth of that experience takes over. The truth within you realizes, even if you're only pretending, that it's being acknowledged. And suddenly you begin to feel something moving through you, as you, to beginning to expand. So the question is, how do you pretend that you're enlightened? I guess maybe we should ask ourselves, how does an enlightened being act? What do they do? What do they say? Do they sit above the others and act all proud and hoping everyone looks to them for guidance? Probably not. I don't think that's what happens. In fact, I'll tell you how you will know you're enlightened. You will know that you're enlightened when you see everyone else in the same way. When you see everyone else as enlightened, that's how you know that you've arrived, because you're beginning to see as God sees. You're beginning to know what is known by God, that's all there is. So, the simple practice would be just to spend as much time during the day as you can seeing everyone else as whole, seeing everyone else as God perceives them. Maybe walk down the street for even a half hour a day and just look at every single person that you pass, whether they see you or acknowledge you or not, and look at them and know, not just think, but know that that is the Holy Christ. That is the holy, perfect child of God. That is an enlightened being. And remember to get your feelings into that. Don't just say the words, really feel it, because what you're going to begin to feel is something growing inside you. Try it for a half hour and you'll see it for yourself. Pretend to be enlightened. The truth is you are. Enlightenment is simply the realization that you're forever filled with light. And that even when clouds block the sun, the light doesn't go away, and neither does the light within you. Try it, and you're going to find it to be the simplest and the fastest route into your own experience of wholeness. What we heard here just a moment ago. The light has never been extinguished or even challenged. What is forever whole remains as it was created forever. That's the best description of you that exists. Your wholeness has never been challenged. Just relax into that.